Hi my lovelies, and welcome to another little peek behind the scenes at Wilks Candle Creations. I'm Lindsay, I'm the owner and creator of Wilks Candle Creations, and you're going to join me for the week in my studio with my beautiful wall. I love it. I've added some more bits, you can see there, Juju, Crafty Juju. We've got Casey Ripley, who else have we got? Luna Rocks, we've got Lily Bean Studio, who else? Got all sorts back there. I've added on, as you do. So yeah, welcome to my studio. Hopefully this week I'm going to be pouring some candles. I've got a new candle range in mind. It's not so much about the scents, it's more about the labels that are going to be on those. I'm hopefully going to be packing up some more orders to send out around the country, which is always a happy day. And I'm going to start prepping for autumn. Yes. Yes, you heard that right. It is June. Although judging by the weather, you wouldn't think it was. But it is June and I'm going to start prepping for my autumn collection. Not so much collection, just every year I always bring out like an autumn scent or scents. And I'm a little bit behind in choosing those and figuring out what I'm going to bring out. I need to get a move on, because a lot of other candle creators would have already picked their scents and ordered them, which means there'll be a short supply of autumn fragrance oils. And I do this to myself every year. I need to stop doing it. Anyway, what I'm going to get on with now is a bit of planning. As I say, I've got a new candle range that I'm looking at possibly putting together and prepping for autumn. So I need to get on with the plans first. It's better to have a plan than to just buy blindly and then, as I've found from experience, then struggle when it comes to launching or making things because you haven't planned what you're actually going to do. Bit crazy, but yeah. So come with me while I get my planning done and then we'll make some little purchases. We've just had a lovely little order come in. It's for someone local. It's actually for the lady that is the escort on my youngest daughter's school bus. Bless her. She asked for the link to my website, so I sent her it and she's put an order in. So there's only one of the candles that I don't have in stock, so I'm going to quickly make that for her. Well, I say quickly, I need this to melt down first. I'll put this on to melt and then we'll come back and we'll make a candle together. So you'll see me here putting on the gloves that I'm going to wear during my candle making. This is to prevent any of the wax or the fragrance oil getting onto my hands and causing any irritation on the skin. The wax shouldn't, but the fragrance oil, when it's undiluted, could cause a bit of a rash. And here we are getting my trusty, well-used apron. I love this apron, but I think I might need to replace it. It's getting a bit worse for wear now. And then we've got here some jars that I'd already pre-wicked a while back, so I'm going to use them up so I'm not wasting them. And I'm already centering the wicks because the wicks are already wax coated, so as I pour the hot wax, they'll start to wilt. I need to keep them in place. And I've checked the temperature of the wax. It's the right temperature for pouring out there, so I'm going to give you a little close-up of pouring that wax. Beautiful. And then I've already calculated the percentage of fragrance oil to wax ratio, so I've just put that in there. And then we have to give that a really good mix to make sure, because the wax is quite a dense mixture, that you really do need to mix that fragrance oil in to make sure that it doesn't create pockets of fragrance oil within the wax. We have to make sure it's all really mixed well and melded together. So you do that. And I'm using the scales here to measure out the candles as I pour, because I know that I've got enough wax and fragrance oil mixture for exactly 2 of these candles. So I don't want to overpour in one and underpour in the other. So there we go, they're all poured, beautiful. So you'll have just seen me making a gorgeous strawberry crush candle for an order that's just come in today. It's from the lady who is, as I said, the escort on my youngest child's bus to school. Because she goes to a specialist school that's about 15 miles away from our home, so the local authority provide transport for her with an escort. And obviously there's other children in her school that get on that bus as well. It is a special needs school, so there's all kinds of abilities and disabilities there. So yeah, that's what the order's for. While that's kind of curing and setting, I thought I'd give you, I don't think I've ever sat and give like an overview as to how Wilks Candle Creations came about. And it was basically, it did come from a hobby, from my hobby. Obviously we'd had Phoebe, I already had Holly, who was diagnosed with autism in the January 2021, and then as Phoebe was developing, it was quite evident that Phoebe also had autism, where Holly has a good cognitive functioning, Phoebe does not. She is 5 years old physically, but mentally, cognitively, she's about 18 months to 2 years, if not just a little bit older. So as that became more apparent, and she's now been diagnosed obviously with autism, global developmental delay, really hypermobile, she can bend in ways that humans shouldn't be able to. We had a bit of a fight with the local authority to get her into the right schools and stuff, which again she managed to get into. It's a fantastic school, it's amazing, an amazing school. I'm so glad she got a place there. But Wilks Candle Creations was pretty much built for the fact that it would be very difficult for me to find an employer or be employed in someone else's business or company, even like a big corporation, and still be able to meet the demands or the needs of my children. We have medical appointments, we have speech and language appointments, we have behavioural assessments, we have just everything. And again, there's some days where the bus comes for my youngest and she just will not get on that bus. She wants to go to school, but she does not want to go via that bus. It's very far and few between, thankfully. She generally enjoys it. She loves movement and motion. So my time has to be very flexible and free-flowing so that I can meet the needs of my kids. Even my eldest, Holly, who is in the last year of primary school, she has medical appointments, she has things to do with her autism that we need to attend to. Like now she's ending primary school this year and she's going into senior school in September. But because of her autism and the way it affects her socially and her social anxiety, inability to read body language and so on, there's a lot of more transition stuff going on for Holly. Meetings that I need to attend. I've got one at the end of this month with the senior school to sit down with their SEND team. So, and I know that her settling into that school is going to take quite a bit of time. There's going to be a lot of back and forwards for me from the school. And how would I ask an employer to be able to say, give me leave a couple of weeks because I need to make sure my kid settles in school? It's not going to work, is it? Or can I just take this day off tomorrow because this professional's for me, they can just squeeze us in tomorrow? It doesn't work. It's like today I've had to take a phone call because the continence nurse has been on the phone because Phoebe's over a certain age now, so she qualifies for continence items. So I've had to sit on the phone for that and arrange appointments for them to come up and measure her, and a traditional employer wouldn't, it would affect their business too much. So when Craig bought me a candle making kit in 2020, and I found I really enjoyed the process, it settled my mind because my mental health has been affected by that point. I think everyone's mental health got affected by COVID, but then also the fact that my children had additional needs and we're going through all these assessments and processes, like my mental health did take a deep dive. And I think even my husband realised I needed something else to focus on other than the negative stuff that was happening. So he bought me that candle kit and I've never looked back. I can honestly say I think making candles probably saved my life at points. Sounds drastic, doesn't it? But it's the way it was. When we looked at when I would be able to go back into work, and we realised that with the needs of our kids, it would be very unlikely that I would find an employment that would be flexible enough for me to meet the needs. While Craig works full time, mine need to be flexible for me to be able to get to what the kids need me to do for them. So I created Wilks Candle Creations, and bless my husband, despite the fact that that first year I took over the house with equipment and wax and fragrance oils and all these kind of good stuff. He was very patient. He never complained. I've got a look now and again, but he never complained. Just always supported me. See, that's where Wilks Candle Creations came from. Basically me being in self-employed, make my own hours, be able to meet the needs of my family and my kids, and it's grown from there, really. It doesn't make a profit for me yet, but as a small business, you don't expect that. It's not a miracle. It's not a miracle maker, as much as I wish it was. We've always been on the thing of, over the last couple of years, if it meets its own costs, if it makes enough to cover its own costs, we'd be happy. Didn't so much last year because I was splitting all my profits with the lady that I went into partnership in the shop with. So a lot of my stuff was selling, but I wasn't seeing the full benefit of my product selling because I was just splitting everything half and half, you know. But this year, obviously I've made big changes again in the business, so I'm not expecting it to make me a profit this year either. If it meets its own costs, I'll be happy. And I need to keep reminding myself that this little business wasn't just set up to make us money. It was set up to give me focus, give me a purpose outside of the home, outside of the kids. I felt like I lost myself a lot once I'd had the kids. It's like I was just a mum, and I love being a mum. I love being my kids' mother. I really do. But my mental health slides really badly. I don't have purpose. I've always worked since I was 13. So for me to be out of work and just at home, my house would be spotless, that'd be nice. But my mood dips are unreal. So yeah, we made Wilks Candle Creations. It came into fruition through me being able to meet the needs of my kids, being able to keep my mental health on track, And here I am now in 2025 in a place that those years, like 2021, I never thought I'd be at the level that I am now, where I'm in my own studio. Am I filled with orders? No, I'm not. The economy at the moment is crap and people are scared, so people aren't spending, and I can appreciate that because I am a person as well. I have a family, so I'm wary about spending, apart from when the e-hearts market's on and I overindulge quite a bit. You know, that's a different matter altogether. It's a different matter. But yeah, that's the backstory for Wilks Candle Creations. Is basically so that as a send mum, as they call them, I can meet the needs of my kids while still being productive. Although some days it feels like didn't do enough today. Like Tuesday, just gone, took the day off without even meaning to. Just took the day off. Just took the dog to the vets. I went down breakfast with my mum and my sister at their house. Had my nails done, which are absolutely gorgeous, by the way. I love them. Absolutely love them. I love them as well, different as well. Just, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I had my nails done, and then by the time I got out of getting my nails done, and I had to stop and had a cuppa because the nail tech's one of my best mates. Should do. By the time I got back to my house, it was like 2 o'clock, and I was picking Holly up at 3. So I was like, well, I'm at the studio then, am I? I'm going to sit at home. So unintentionally on Tuesday I had a day off, and do you know what? I needed it. I needed it. Because even as a small business, making your own hours and doing your own thing, I don't think people appreciate the amount of pressure we put on ourselves. That if we're not working, we're doing something wrong. Whoo, yeah, the guilt. It's like yesterday, I did a lot of work in the studio yesterday, a lot of computer work, designing and figuring out and purchase orders for new candles I want to make. And I was on the computer working constantly. And yet when I got home, I still expected myself to get my computer back out and continue working well into the evening. Why? I wouldn't do that if I worked with someone else. But I did it to myself now. So people may think, oh yeah, working for yourself must be brilliant. It's hard work. Like, the guilt for not sitting every moment and working on the small business is unbelievable. I've got a holiday coming up and I'm starting to feel guilty that I won't be working. I was planning to take my laptop and stuff with me, and my husband's like, I don't think so. You're on holiday with the kids and me. You're not working. But we'll see. Come along with me now while I pick and pack the order that I received this week. Yes, just one order, and that is absolutely fine. I'm still building my online presence again. So we've got there a lovely black cherry candle, and then we have a lovely frosted cranberry, one of my faves, as well as a black cherry. I love them all. And then one of the strawberry crush candles that I recently made, that's in her order as well. And then she picked 2 snap bars as well. I went to get the fresh linen, but that's not what she picked. My lovely customer wanted a snow fairy snap bar. And then I was looking for the black cherry, and it's right next to the snow fairy. There it is. That's what she wanted. So because it's a local order, and I'll actually be handing this over to her tonight once she drops off my youngest child. So she is not paying any postage because it's hand delivery. So I'm just packing them here in these sturdy brown paper bags that are, again, recyclable. Recycle, reuse, everything my business stands for. And there we are, all packed up. Hi everyone. I filmed a talking segment yesterday, and you might have already seen it, might have already been in this vlog. I talk about like how Wilks Candle Creations came about, why it came about, what I want to do with it. I don't think I really focused on what I want to do with it. As I said, came about so that I could try and stabilise my mental health, because me being active and productive does stabilise my mental health. It works wonders for me, rather than rely on drugs. I know some people need to rely on drugs, but I already take a lot of medication for the diabetes that I have. So my kidneys are compromised, so I didn't want to introduce any further drugs if I could help it. So me being active, productive, being able to put my mind to something, that regulates my mental health really, really well. It worked in the past and it's working now. But ideally, what I would love to be able to do is grow Wilks Candle Creations to the stage where it provides paid employment for me. Yes, it's got employment for me, but currently it doesn't pay me. I don't take a wage at all. Nothing goes back into our family funds because there's nothing there to go into our family funds. And I would love to be able to be in the position where Craig can leave his job and this provides for our family, and he takes a wage from this as well. That is the goal. That is the plan of what we want. And I've been going now. I've been going March 2022, I think was when I first put a website up. And that isn't to say that I got sales straight away. I didn't. I started doing markets in the April or May, but then it just about covered what I was spending on materials for the business. Still didn't pay me a wage, and even today I don't take a wage from this business. And part of me, and I've actually voiced this to Craig and said, do I continue, do I keep doing it? It's not bringing an income in. And as he pointed out, I am at my best mentally when I'm working. So even though I don't take a wage yet, we are going to keep pushing forward. I do need it to start meeting its own overheads though, because my kids don't deserve to go without for this business to run. It should be the reverse. This business should be there to be able to support my kids. So that is the goal. So with that, I make candles. I make my own candle pots, wax melts, room diffusers, room sprays and linen sprays. I've introduced cups and tumblers, all great things. But I need to look at what else I can possibly diversify into. It's not just about adding things willy-nilly. It's adding things that I love, that I enjoy. I don't think I'll ever get to the stage of enamel pins because the production process confuses the living daylights out of me. So I'll start small, I think. I need to start making my own greetings cards and my own stickers. I need to push that creative side of me. I used to love drawing, painting. I used to use different mediums, pencil, pen, colour pencils, colour pens, acrylics, watercolours. I used to use everything. And I really loved the process. I loved it all. But I kind of put it aside when I reached university age because my dad asked me to go to university, not art college. And I did that. And I know that before he passed away, he regretted asking me to do that. He told me he apologised. But as I said to him then, it was my choice to make and I made it. And I think those kind of memories have been holding me back. And I need to stop it. It's my choice to be creative. It's my choice to build this business. So I need to put my all into it. But on the other hand, I also need to take rest. Because I think this past fortnight I've struggled with my energy levels, I've struggled with my motivation and my procrastination. And I think it is because I'm not giving myself any rests. I'm not giving myself a chance to do anything for enjoyment. If I go and do anything with the kids, I feel guilty for not working on the business. I need to get out of that mindset. Otherwise it's not going to work. It's not worth me doing it. So I need to meet my work-life balance and I need to make it work for me. Do I think I can do this? I'm going to try. I'm actually going to start taking dedicated days off. It has helped not having the shop, the physical shop, because I can be at home Saturdays and Sundays with the kids, and that I've really enjoyed actually being in my house. Although I need to decorate. drastically. But yeah, so the goals are grow into products that I actually love and enjoy. Get it to the point where it can provide a wage for me. Then get it to the point where it can also provide a wage for Craig. That's not going to happen this year. That's years in the making. And I keep expecting immediate results, and it was actually Craig who said to me last night, I've already been going since 2022. Yeah, that is 3 years. And at one point it was just paying for itself. And that's dipped a little bit because I've moved out of the shop. But I want to get back to that point and then go on top of that, so that we are just solely relying on ourselves and nothing else. That is the goal. And as I said, Craig said last night, it's years in the making, but we have to keep pushing, to keep going. So that is what we're going to do. Which means I need to sit down and actually write out the goals and the steps we're going to take to meet those goals. I can think all these things, but actually putting them down on paper is a big struggle for me. So I need to figure that out. Got a lot of things to figure out, haven't I? And I've also got to make sure that I'm stocked to go to this summer fair at a local senior school. Well, it's a senior school my daughter's going to go to in September. I've got a friend that works there and they put me down to do the summer fair. So that's a big push for me. It's actually active selling again. So that should be good. I need to get on with that as well. Wish me luck. And that is the end of this week's vlog. It's a bit of a chatty one, and I appreciate that's not for everyone. I've put a bit of candle making in there as well. Forgive the mess up here. That's some holiday clothes that we've got to get packed, and my eldest's new school uniform for senior school in September. And you might wonder why I've done it so early, because it's only June. But my 11-year-old is actually the size of a 15 to 16-year-old. So typically they don't carry a lot of stock her age or her size range in store. So I was told when I went to pick up a primary school leavers hoodie from there to get in early so that they could make sure there's everything in stock. And luckily they had everything, like one of everything in her size that I needed. So I've got the skirt, I've got the blazer, I've got the jumper, I've got the sports leggings, and I've got the PE top. Other stuff doesn't need to be emblemed anymore, so I can buy like the sports shorts, the sports socks and the shirts. I can get them from anywhere. They don't need the emblem on, so that's a bit of a money saver. And that's actually, her school actually put a notice out, that her new senior school put the notice out that they were doing that on purpose so that it kind of reduced costs as much as possible. Would be nice if they could just wear a grey skirt and not the checked one that they have to have. Oh, caught me there. So yes, it's been a bit of a chatty vlog, going into the depths of why I started Wilks Candle Creations, what I want it to do, the plans going forward a little bit. I haven't really gone in depth on that, but I still need to sit down with my husband and actually plan together where we want it to go and get his views on what I should focusing on. I mean, it's my decision in the end, but I always like his input. So that'll be in a future vlog, the plans of Wilks Candle Creations. Speaking of the husband, he just sent me something in an attachment. God knows what it'll be. It could be rude. It could be about the holiday we've got coming up in Cornwall. Could be anything. And I've just noticed that door. I need to clean it again. Me dog, Groot. Yes, I said your name. When we go out of the house, we look him in this area. Or we try to. We can now open doors. But he jumps and bounds and scratches at the door, so that door needs washing down and repainting. So does the wall next to it. That's disgusting. That's really irritating me now. I'll have to find the tub of white paint. I need to sort that out. Wash his face, that might be next. Oh, there he goes, look. Helping himself. Yep, there it goes. The door wasn't fully closed then. No one there. No one there at all. It's a nightmare. But yes, that's the end of this week's vlog. And in typical Lindsay fashion, I didn't end the studio vlog in the studio. I've left it till now when I'm at home editing this vlog a day later than it should have been up anyway. Little ADHD brain. I can't even speak. But yeah, if you've liked this vlog and you want to see where I take the business, what plans we have, and how we go about that, or the products that we bring in, I might even take you along to the market at the end of the month. That'll be terrifying, filming in public. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like so it puts it out into the algorithm, and I will see you next week.